Hi loves, welcome back to my channel. Here we are. You thought you'd seen the last of me, but you have not. The Colour of Drag series may be finished, but I'm far from living my colourful fantasy. And obviously, as we're going into the month of June, it is Pride season, which means, of course, it's another opportunity for me to do a colourful look. I'm going to be using a lot of the old Morphe collection from Pride last year, which a lot of the proceeds went to the Trevor project, which is amazing. They do have a new Pride collection out, but while I'm filming this video right now, I don't actually have it in my possession, so I will buy it, and I'll probably do another video on that when it gets released. There's going to be colour, rainbows, glitter, and that's just the party season. Obviously with coronavirus, all the prides across the world have been cancelled or postponed. What better way to have like one of the Zoom Pride party playlist wannabe, get the snacks, grab me a gin, boogie the night away look than what I'm going to do today. So yeah, if you want to see me go from this to this, then keep watching. Hey guys, so I started doing my brows off camera and then thought I'd probably just like show you this anyway. As it is Pride season, I am pretty sure a lot of people might want to experience drag for the first time. So this will be a great video to kind of get you introduced into the little tips and techniques before, which I usually skip. I started doing one of my brows on camera, but I thought I'll do the other one with you and we'll do it in kind of not real time, but so you can see the process. So what you'll need is a glue stick and some form of mascara one. Now you can get these little mini disposable ones. You can get them from, to be honest, I got these online. You get them, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush and swirl this glue stick through my brows and I'm going to comb them up, as you can see I've kind of done with this brow here. So, a bit like this. And what I'm going to keep doing is just keep going over with layer after layer until basically I've got rid of as much texture as possible. And then once that's all done, I'm going to go over with a powder puff and some white translucent powder and really press it into the brows to fill in any tiny little gaps that I've still missed with the glue. Right, so I've repeated that process over and over again by just putting glue stick layer after glue stick layer. I've powdered it down and these are as smooth as my brows are going to get for now. I've also done the same on the sideburns as well, just to make sure that when the wig goes on you don't see none of this. The outfit that I'm going to wear and the wig is quite muted, it's quite monotone. I'm thinking the greys and the blacks, a little bit of sparkle sticking in that realm, because I really want the makeup to be the focal point of bright vibrancy, rainbow gorgeousness. Before I do any of that, I'm going to have to go with a bit of a base. So you can use any kind of full coverage thick makeup. You can go to Superdrug, Boots, all of the good kind of drugstore type places that are in the UK, and you can get some really full coverage heavy duty makeup which works fantastic. For me, I'm going to use the professional makeup which I've just always got to hand, which is my Krylon TV paint sticks. These are what every kind of performer or drag queen uses. You've probably seen it on shows like RuPaul's Drag Race, for example. So I'm going to use these in 3 or 4 different tones to kind of sculpt and carve out my face. I'm going to use one as my base, then I'm going to use one which is a couple of shades lighter to pick on the highlights, which is just under my eyes and on my cheekbones, maybe on my chin, nose and forehead, and then one that's slightly a little bit darker to do the contours of my face. I'm not going to go really heavy with the contour for the dark parts of my face today, just because I'm going to go with loads of rainbow shadows and use those to create the contours instead. I forgot to mention as well, you can also colour correct with some orange if you've got a little bit of discoloration or a beard or anything like that. But for me today, I'm not going to be fussed with that, I'm just going to go straight in with the foundation. And with each layer that you do, you want to use a damp sponge or a brush and just kind of buff it into the skin. Okay, so I now look a little bit evil as I've left these random 2 parts of my brows incomplete. However, that's because I'm going to do the brow section now with you so you can keep up. But essentially what I've done, like I said, keep the high points here just under the cheekbones. I really want to make that prominent, so I've added some highlight. She smudged it. Highlight here, really pinch the nose, and my actual nose ends like here, so I put the highlight a little bit up because I wanted to make my nose look like and made sure to contour all around here, because remember, gentlemen, we have more square jaws than the ladies do. So you just curve it off at the sides and then bring that contour down. Now, to the brows, you need to make them as stark white as possible because that is going to give you the best colour payoff on the coloured pigments when you add them to your eyes. You can use your finger, but I'm going to be really fancy and go with a brush because I feel like it gives me more precision. And I'm going to carve just underneath where I want my brow to kind of end. And then I can go over the top with like the random strokes of hairs lit there. So I'm going to take like a white face paint. That's it, white face paint on a brush, and starting about halfway through where my natural brow is. I'm going to slowly go up to where the natural carve of my brow is. So you can see it's like this. And I'm going to keep going and just do a nice in the middle number. They're kind of even. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring that white down now to just cover the majority of my lid and this little bit of brow here. I do believe it's time to put some powder on. Set it and forget it. Set it, forget it. I'm just using a white translucent. Again, you can get this from Superdrug, Boots, anywhere. You can go for the high-end brands if you want to. I'm using a nice waterproof one. I'm gonna use a gigantic powder puff. I'm gonna smack it on my face, but also going gently over the brows because you don't want to start smacking off the glue. And now that you've definitely made a huge, awful mess everywhere, and if you haven't, you're not doing it right, time to brush it all off. Right, so before I go in with the eyes and the brows, I want to contour the face a bit. Now, what I would usually do is go in with some gorgeous kind of neutral tones, but this is Pride season. So we're going to go colourful, okay? It's summertime, it's meant to be warm, so I'm going to be contouring my face with reds, oranges and yellows. So I'm going to be going in with the Morphe Pride collection. She looks like this. She's got some gorgeous mattes, some beautiful shimmers and all different colours of the rainbow, and the names of the shades are so lovely. They're all reminiscent of different parts of LGBT culture, history, and just about what Pride's meant to be. You know, for example, they have healing, activism, thrive, Stonewall, everything. It's fabulous. Always time for some gin. So what I'm going to do first is actually go in with a blush anyway, but the blush I'm going to make sure is a bright orange shade, and I'm going to be using a Revolution product. What a surprise! I love Makeup Revolution, they're incredible at what they do, and their products are so fantastic. So I haven't used it in a while, but I'm going to go back in with the Revolution Pro blush palette, and I'm going to be going in with this top shade right here, which is so vibrant, it's gorgeous, and really blush my cheeks out. So starting on the apples and working all the way up. So I've brought it on the bridge of my nose, my chin, and I'm going to bring it on the forehead as well, and then we're going to go deeper with a bit of red. So now I'm going to go into the palette, and actually I'm going to swap from a fluffy brush, I'm going to go to a slightly more angled brush instead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this angled brush here and go into the shade Light. And I'm going to use that to sculpt just underneath my chin. Yes, do you see what that's done? Oh, I love it. Also, I am aware I just called my cheek my chin, but it's fine. Using that same fluffy brush I used before, I'm going to go into the orange shade at the top called Pride. Using the shade Sunlight from the palette, I'm going to tap on with this small packer brush here, and I'm just going to pat that on where the highlight's going to go later on. Probably thinking this looks a bit clowny at the moment, but don't worry, once we've got the brows, eyes, lips and all the Shazam on, it's going to look and feel perfect and fabulous. So I'm going to do a couple of ombre effects. I'm going to go from green, blue and purple on the eyes and also on the brows as well, and hopefully this is going to kind of marry those two sections together, ready for me to carry on with some big gorgeous colours on the lips. So we're going to go back into the Morphe palette, and actually we're going to use a mixture of these two bottom shades here, Nature and Thrive. And we're going to start arching out where we want our brand new eye socket to go. Using that same brush, I'm going to go into the shade Art. Notice I'm stamping the colour on first before I swirl, just because I really want to get that pigment down. Using that same brush still, I'm going to go with Peace and Make Magic just here, and slowly use that to kind of build out the outside as well. Now using these three shades here, Rise Up, Truth and Harmony, I'm going to use these to build up the outer corner a little bit more, to build in a bit more depth. And keep packing it on and blend in until you end up with something like this. Me? Oh, yes. Okay, so now you've got this down, you're going to then go back in with the same white that you used to cut the eyebrow with, and you're going to cut the crease. Essentially, you're now creating a brand new lid space for you. So I'm going to draw my new lid way higher up so that you can make sure you can see everything. I'm actually going to go in with an Urban Decay palette. Now this is a goodie but an oldie but a goodie. It's called the Moon Dust palette. And they have these gorgeous rainbow metallic shades in there, and I'm going to kind of put a mixture of maybe this gold and this peachy colour here on the lid, just to kind of break it up from the blues and the purples. But oh my god, this palette. With shimmers, I'm just going to go with my finger, rub it in and pat it on. What I'm going to do while I'm continuing to finish off the eye bits, I'm going to just powder just underneath where my contours are, just to make them a bit more sharp, and this is called baking. I'm going to zoom you in and we're going to do these brows. So I'm actually going to go in with a really small skinny synthetic brush to paint on my eyebrows first with some cream paints in like pinks and lilacs, and then I'm going to go in with the shades of pink, purples and lilacs to kind of ombre out the brow, and hopefully it looks great. If not, there's always glitter, yes! I'm going to start where I've started to carve out my brow with the white, bring it up first to the bottom line, and then we'll go onwards. Then you're going to start a little bit higher in the inner corners to create the thickness of the brow before you then go in with the skinnier end. What I like to do is usually do like 1 or 2 thin strokes and then carve. Using a small dense packer brush first, I'm going to go in with the shade Sexuality, then bring it all the way up to shades like Heart to ombre it in. Now for the black liner. It's water activated, spray it or the brush with water, mush it up a little bit, and you want to cover basically your whole lid, bring it just above and wing it out as you would normally like a cat eye. Okay, so as you can see, I've painted on a really big winged black liner. I've gone over it with a bit more of the shimmer that we used in the initial Urban Decay palette, the Moon Dust palette. And yeah, dusted off any of the excess powder, but basically it had all soaked in where it was underneath here. You can see now that my cheeks are looking fierce and sharp. Oh yes. I'm going to add some finishing touches like a lash, throw on a bit of glitter, and then I'll be right back in the final look. And here we are, guys, it's the final look, yes! Here we go. So this is my rainbow-inspired Pride Feeling Your Fantasy that somehow turned into 80s dancing look. It's great, it's lovely, it's fabulous. I hope you enjoyed that, I hope you learned something. If you like this video, if you like me, give this video a thumbs up, comment below what you want to see next, and of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to leave all my details in the comment section below so you can follow me on Instagram and also drop me a little inquiry because believe it or not, I'm a makeup artist as well, honey. Thank you very much for watching. Happy Pride and I'll see you all soon. Love ya. Mwah.